Hello, good evening. This is Akwesi Opong from Midofo Date Night. I'm so happy you're with us tonight. I want to share with you uh, some encouraging message regarding marriage, and this is on the topic of growing with your spouse. Most too often, you see spouse get together, they get married, they start living their lives, and one starts growing more than the other, whether it's spiritual growth, whether it's in their career, whether it's their friends. But they seem always to be one of the spouse growing more than the other. What this tends to happen is after a while the other feels left behind, or the growing spouse feel the other spouse is not catching up enough. So today I want to share a few things about what we have to do to grow together in some areas that we can grow. Now, when you realize that you are the growing spouse, you have to make room in your life to make sure that your spouse is also growing. So, what are some of the areas that we can talk about? Um, if, for example, you have finished your degree, you finish your master's degree, going on to your PhD, find out if your spouse also wants to develop in her education and her career, so that if you have attained your education to a certain degree, your spouse can also catch up. Another area is also if you um, buy something for yourself. It could be anything you can think of, if it's a car or if it's, nice clothes or anything that you are investing in yourself. Make sure you do that for your spouse as well. Because in the end, you will go out and see somebody wearing something nice and you will feel, oh, that person looks so nice, is because their spouse helped them to grow. So it's your responsibility to help your spouse to grow. Make room, make the finances available, make the time available to help your spouse grow. It could be that you might have to get home early from work so that your wife could take a class, so that you can help with the children, so that they can also have the time to invest in themselves. Because when your spouse grows without you, there's going to be a gap between the two of you. Now, I want to give a few scriptural references that it's not directly related, but it gives the sense of what I'm trying to point out here. Um, if you look at Proverbs 31, I know it's a scripture that a lot of us use to talk about the virtuous woman, but look at something it says here from verse 20. It says that she opens her arms to the poor and extends her arm to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. And in verse 22 says that she makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. And then verse 23, it says her husband is respected at the city gates, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. I just admire that so much that we're talking about the woman here. The woman is doing all these things to grow her family, her home. But then the credit goes to the husband. Everybody who meets the husband in the city gates know that this is Mr. Proverbs 31, as I always call her. We don't know what her name is. We always call her the virtuous woman or Proverbs 31. But he's the Mr. Proverbs 31. It's almost like she's being called by her wife's name because the wife is doing so much to grow her home and also to grow her husband. She does everything to make sure that the husband has time to take his seat amongst the elders as well. So that is a very, very good one. The other one I also want to share is about Rachel and Jacob. We all know the story how Laban made Jacob work for the two daughters, Leah and Rachel. And after Jacob had served 7 years, if we go to the verse, it says that Laban said, it's better that I give her to you than to another man. Stay with me. So Jacob served 7 years to get Rachel, but they seemed to be like a few days to him because of his love for her. Now, when you look at the full story, Jacob was in a state where he was single. He was looking forward to getting married to Rachel. But in order to do that, the cost for that, for them to grow as husband and wife, was that Jacob had to serve another 7 years for Rachel. And I see that as an effort that Jacob put into it. I know that in our society today, a lot of men will serve the first 7 years, get Leah and say, "Oh, good enough. I'm gonna just take this and go." But he knew exactly where his heart was and what he wanted in a relationship. So today, the message I want us to take from this is that let's not grow alone. Make sure you're growing with your spouse. Make sure you're making little investments to make sure that you're bringing your spouse up to the same level in which you are. Thank you so much for joining us today for our message, and we will be with you again. You can always visit us at midofodatenight.com. God bless you. Bye.